Silke, and today I'm in Stuttgart, Germany, a city with a long history of engineering and manufacturing. The auto industry is a major player here, and you can see signs of it all over town, which is good news for Stuttgart as long as the German car industry continues to thrive. My guest today is Zetsche, the boss of Daimler, the makers of Mercedes-Benz cars, a company, of course, with a global reputation, but over the past decade they have made some costly mistakes and they still face some major challenges, not least the push for greener, more efficient vehicles. So, yes, Daimler has a proud reputation, but does it have a bright future? Zetsche, welcome to Hard Talk.
Thanks for having me.
Here we sit in Stuttgart, the headquarters of Daimler, but it just strikes me that this isn't necessarily the right place to be if you have global ambitions.
Well, yes and no. On the one hand, of course, we are a global company and we want to be present around the globe. On the other hand, our strength is our brand, and one important character of our brand is being German.
But let us be honest about where Europe is today. Car sales have slumped in the last 6 years. They've gone down massively across Europe. Still in Germany and in France last year, they went down. If you are really ambitious about global growth, Europe is the last place that you want to put your focus.
Well, of course it's true what you're saying. At the same time, we are selling more cars in Europe today than we did 6 years ago, and we are still selling more cars in Europe than between US and China combined. So yes,
but I'm talking about the growth potential.
Absolutely, the growth potential is limited already from a demographics point of view, and growth will come from emerging markets, from US as well, but still the volume we're selling here is so significant that it's important to deal with Europe as well.
Absolutely, but no business leader rests on his laurels, and always a business leader looks to tomorrow. Here's a very simple question for you. Do you know how old the average buyer of a new car in Germany is today?
It's close to 50 years.
It's 52.2 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a disaster for you.
It's not, first of all, more mature customers typically are more affluent as well. So everybody should be jealous about us having a very strong foothold in that part of the population. At the same time, when you want to grow, of course, you have to look for younger customers. New car sales in general are being realized not by the youngest ones who either have no car or used car, but clearly, when you want to be there in 20 and 30 years, you have to win over the young customers today, and that's what we do with our new product.
But what you're saying is fascinating, because when you talk about people relying more on used cars, and indeed your company moving into the car share business as well, it seems to me you're acknowledging that in the more developed economies, the assumptions about everybody owning a car, using a car, relying on a car, they are a thing of the past.
That is true again.
So why would I want to invest in your company when it sounds more and more like you're a sunset industry?
Well, I can't remember a time, and I'm in this business now almost for 40 years, when the growth prospects of our industry were so positive as they are today. And that's of course not because of great growth potential in Europe, but this is because of all the emerging markets where more and more people get to a level of wealth where they can afford to buy a car. They're as excited about this first car as Europeans were in the 50s and the 60s. So there's a huge amount of potential new customers, and that's where we're all benefiting from.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute, and it is interesting.